right, baby. It's direct from the beautiful Inland Blue Studios. Honey, this is the Nerdlife Crisis podcast with your host, that fine-ass Chris Thayer, that beautiful Steve Hale, and that big hunker chunk of meat, Ron Milts. Woo! Mama's hot up in here. Let's get this party started.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis podcast. Here with your host today,
Chris Thayer,
Steve Hale,
Mike Eastman,
and I'm Ron Milts. All right, hey, we're back. We're back again.
And I'm here.
I know, and Chris is well. Mike's here. Chris is here.
It's good to see you guys. I mean, you know, you guys were gone on your little adventure and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
we definitely were. So Chris and I, Traipse the World has become the go-to for the last 6 months or so. So
we just added another one on Friday.
Pin in the map. Where to now?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix. I hear Phoenix is a very good con.
Well, I mean, for those of you that are listeners that don't know, so Chris and I own a small comic book company. We're Inland Blue Comics. And we just got done boothing New York Comic Con for the first time.
That's big.
Yeah. And actually, we're going to New Orleans first week of January.
Wow.
Gonna take the wife, have a good time, you know.
Cool.
Some flashing, I'm sure. It'll be fun.
I'm doing a cruise at the end of January.
Right. Where you
Ensenada. Just a little 3-day booze cruise,
Love
but
it,
you know,
dude.
starting the year off with
One of the carnival ones?
Yeah. Some of my friends from the 501st.
Nice,
dude. We're gonna do a
That's a good time
together. So.
And then we just booked. We're going back to Seattle. We booked Chicago. Yeah, we're hitting all the big ones at this
you
point.
guys, I saw a picture of the booth, man. It is come together.
We look like
Super
professionals
pro.
now.
Yeah.
We got them all fooled, man. If you saw us loading in the night of, and I'm sure you'll want to tell the story.
Look, there's a whole story.
Oh
here,
yeah, no, it was an epic adventure. I will say that.
We're like the damn Beverly Hillbillies. So
so much like the Beverly Hillbillies.
One of us that owns Inland Blue Comics is an idiot, and it's not Chris. So so we were flying out Wednesday. And we had packed Tuesday night, and Chris goes what time do we want to meet tomorrow? And I go, well, our flight's at 2. You know, we gotta be at 2. So as long as you're at my house by 10:30, we should be fine.
Because Chris, also you remember, Ron likes to run other shit going on up until the point he has to leave.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You know, he's like, well, I gotta run out to LA real quick, and I'll be right back.
Right.
You know?
Oh no, it's you squeeze every possible thing you can into a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I dropped the boy off at school, and I'm
which is 2 blocks from my house.
Absolutely. 7:50 in the morning. I'm well, I'll head back. And I had asked Chris, do you want me to just swing by and grab you? He goes, no, I'll just drive to your house. And I was like, no worries. That's fine. Leave your car for a couple days. So I drive over to San Bernardino at the little mall right there where I can charge the Tesla real quick. Because I'm we're going to drive out. And my sister-in-law is going to drive it back. So just want to make sure we got a full charge. I'm sitting there charging, and my phone gives me an alert. And it's all, your plane leaves in 2 hours and 27 minutes. And I'm like, that's not right. Hold on. So I pull up the itinerary, and lo and behold, our plane takes off at 11:15.
Oh.
And I am in San Bernardino. I have not showered, nor have I packed or anything. Chris is at his house in Redlands. And for those of you that don't know the geometry of this, we're about 55 miles away from the airport in LA traffic. So I immediately call him. Goes to voicemail. Call him again. Goes to voicemail. Call him again. Goes to voicemail. Call him again. Finally picks up, and I'm all, dude, I fucked up bad. I fucked up so bad. And he's like, did you kill somebody? I'm all, no, it's worse. You got to go now. Get in your car and drive to my house now. And he's like, click. So I do 80 home, run inside, tell the wife and the sister-in-law, and it's we got to leave now. And
this is not the first time you're hitting the fucking door like it's Home Alone.
No.
For a flight.
No.
Yes.
This has happened to me once before. So, not in this exact circumstance. That was a little different. That time I needed to pick up my passport at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I had a 10:45 flight to Europe that I had to get to to LAX yet again.
LAX is the killer, dude.
So basically, the sister-in-law gets on the phone and starts calling Southwest to try and find us another flight out. There's literally no other flights out of California or Las Vegas going to New York on Wednesday, except for one flight at 12:10. That was a $1,200 upgrade.
Oh
shit.
Yes. At which point I'm like, you know how you get so mad, you just want to break shit, and
Yes.
you're like, I'm not crying, but the tears are welling up because I'm trying not to punch everything.
Bruce Banner is gone.
Yes, absolutely. That's where we were. Chris shows up, I'm like, get in the car. And I clicked in and I looked at it and looked at them both. I'm going to break a lot of laws. I'm very sorry. So we jumped in the Tesla and I didn't do under 85 all the way from here
That's crazy.
to the airport. We basically at one point, like we hit the express lanes. I don't have a fast pass. I just fucking went in them.
I'm like, do it, dude. You can pay it later.
Send me the bill.
The bills just came yesterday,
Right,
by the way.
right.
I looked at Chris, and at one point, I looked down, and I'm all, Chris, we're doing 105. At this point, Chris notoriously gets car sick when he sits in the back seat of a car. For whatever reason, he didn't speak up when we jumped in the car. So he's all, I'm not doing good, dude. I'm really not doing good. I'm all, I won't talk to you, and I'll try to weave less.
I'm thinking if we get down to like ever under 70, I'm opening the window and I'm letting it fly. But I ain't doing it at 90. At 90, it's going all over the freeway.
So we finally hit LAX, and it's like we're at the street where you like make the right to go in the terminal right there on Century.
Everything slows.
Yeah,
down.
and it's like a dead stop, and he's fine. Like his stomach's getting. He's like, I'm not doing okay. I'm all right. I'll make it. We make that right turn, and it's like right. You can see the terminal, maybe 40 yards in the distance. At this point, we're like. We had been like watching the time click off on the MapQuest, or the Google Maps.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to make it, guys. We're going to make it. We hit that. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. So it's like 34 minutes till the flight leaves. And you got to get your bags in 30 minutes ahead of time so they can get through TSA, right?
Yep.
Or you're going to be in trouble. Your bags might not make it.
Or they'll tell you like, hey, you missed check-in time.
Yeah.
Well, which
exactly.
is super important because our bags have all of our product in them.
Yes.
And each one weighs a minimum of 50 pounds.
We've literally got 6 full bags, and the tiny ones weigh the most. The tiny ones weigh like 100 pounds each.
Yeah, our carry-on, when we get on the plane, that shit over somebody else's head. Because if it goes, and it ain't my problem.
Right.
Sorry.
So we pull up, and like right as we get to where we're unloading, like Chris is like, oh my God, open the door. Well, my car has child lock set up, so he can't open the door while the car's in drive. He's like, I'm going to puke. And then he rolls down the window and he's like, blah, like he throws up just a little, not a lot. But we finally get to like the check-in, and there's like the curbside assistance. He opens the door because we're in park. I jump out to unload, and there's like these Asian people standing right alongside of the curb, and Chris is all, raw.
Welcome to LA.
Like not a small amount.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah, not
That's how
even
you get your space in LA. You throw up on the ground.
dude. It was so, and I like looked, and I'm all, he's a little car sick. So,
Child.
Sorry, it's a little tummy ache.
so we roll up to the curbside check-in, and I like just throw the bags at the guy. I'm all, we are running unbelievably late. We literally run to TSA, and we get to TSA, and every time we go through TSA with our stuff, they check us because it doesn't show it on the
It's
monitor.
just solid paper.
It's just a solid brick, so they always search us. So we're literally 6 minutes till our flight time, and the TSA guy's like, I'm gonna check your bag. I'm all, just check it, just go through it, and he goes, opens it up. He goes, is it okay if I'm all, dude, cut it open, spray it. We got 6 minutes to make our flight, and if we miss it, there are no other flights today. Like, come on. And he's like, goes through, and then literally the second bag, the girl's going through the same thing, and I'm all, people, it's 4 minutes until my flight leaves now. You need to hurry up.
Right.
And so first bag comes off, I was all, just go, like hold the plane. We literally run up. So we run onto the plane. We make it with 3 minutes. They were like they shut the door as soon as we hit the plane. We're getting in. Chris all, excuse me, can I go bathroom again? And the lady comes over, she goes, you guys look really bad. And I'm all, yeah.
Bear in mind, neither one of us has showered at this
Nope.
point. We probably don't smell real great.
Nope. And neither of us is shaved. I literally am
yeah.
wearing whatever I threw on to take the boy to school. It was like that level of go.
Holy shit.
And that's how the morning began.
So we had it was, you're flying east, so it ends up being a long flight. We had
Yes.
one connector. We basically flew north.
No, we had two.
Well, we stopped and picked up people. We landed for 30 minutes, picked people up, and then flew back out in Denver. Like, we didn't get off the plane.
Right.
But we landed at 11:30 at night at LaGuardia. So basically, we went from 11:15, and our time we'd have landed at 8:30.
Yeah.
The baggage doesn't come out of baggage claim until 12:45. Like we hit and so the Airbnb where we're staying, the guy's like, have you landed? Like Kafir, super nice guy, is like, have you landed? What's going on? We're gonna, like, just keep me updated. So we finally get all the bags.
This is a Wednesday night, so this dude has to work in the morning.
Yes. And so we get on the wrong bus because I asked the bus driver, I know I'm supposed to take the 70, but does this? I think the 72 goes here as well. And he goes, yeah, it goes there. It does not, in fact, go there. It goes to another stop. So we had to get. I had planned every stop to be a stop with a handicap, so we could get our bags in and up. And no, instant leg and arm day for this portion of the trip.
And you got to think, 6 bags. Each
people.
one of them at least 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Between 50 and 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And they're like 3 flights of stairs up and then 3 flights of stairs down.
Oh, shit.
And that's just to get into the little terminal area. And then you got to go through this. And then, oh, by the way, there's more stairs up and then down to get to the other side of the platform.
Literally, Chris's mantra by the end of the week is motherfucking stairs. I
Fucking hate these stairs.
So we did all that. I'm dripping sweat. We get on the subway and it's like, we bus, get on the subway, and from LaGuardia to downtown, it's like, it's not a short ride. You're talking hour 15. And it's only 7 miles. Like when you have that moment when I'm like, we're literally traveling 7 miles and it's like doing it by donkey. Like it's so goddamn slow. And then it's night, so the trains don't run like they do during the day. So we missed one train by 3 minutes and we had to wait a half an hour for the next one.
Oh man.
So we finally roll up to where we're staying at the Airbnb at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, we have to be up in 5 hours at this point. The guy, he's like, okay, you got to be quiet. It's like, I'm on the 3rd floor, and it's a wraparound
elevator.
Nope.
So again, after all the stair work we've done, and I was joking at that point, like, oh, it's leg day, it's arm day. And then we get to the place, and I'm like,
so we do all 8 bags through basically, it's like 12 steps, wrap, 12 steps, wrap, 12 steps, wrap, 12 steps, wrap. Narrow, so you can only bring one bag at a time.
2 in the morning.
At 2 in the morning, we're doing
Quietly.
this.
And
Quietly.
Here's what you hear. Clam. Couple steps. Doom, doom, doom. Clam.
So we get into the room. And I look at Chris, and he goes, God damn, you stink. I'm dripping sweat, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like...
He almost passed out at one point, lugging that biggest bag.
Oh, dude, the
up
biggest...
the
Because
stairs.
we had transferred stuff. The biggest bag probably was about 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you're just deadlifting 150 pounds, like,
Right.
up the stairs, And my backpack's full of shit that I'm wearing this whole... I mean, it was gnarly. So anyways, we get to the room. We finally get checked in. And Chris just looked at me, and I'm all... I'm so sorry. In every way, shape, and form. That was the worst day of the trip right there. But yeah, one of us is a dumbass, and it is not Chris. It is most definitely me.
Wow.
Where the hell did you get 2 o'clock from?
What do you mean?
For the flight.
It was the connecting time.
Oh.
That was the connecting flight.
Gotcha.
And so I looked, literally, I just
See,
did
I'm old school, man. I still like to print shit out.
Right.
I like to have it because, quite honestly, I've recently, you guys haven't seen this yet, I've recently had to get glasses.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yes, I have to wear eyeglasses now. Doctor said, hey, man, you're over 40. Mm-hmm. I've been having a hard time seeing things kind of up close. It's sort of straining big time with headaches. So, yeah, I have to wear glasses. So reading shit like that, itineraries on the phone, I have to print it out. I have to have it. 8.5 by 11, so I could read what is going on.
Hey, no shame on the glasses, dude.
I can't.
Henry
read
Rollins wears glasses.
Right.
If he can wear them, then we're all
meant to
okay.
happen. It happens to most people.
Do you have are like the big black rim? I imagine.
Yeah. Pretty much like. Did you guys see what was that movie, Sicario?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember the one mercenary with when they're on the highway and he was wearing the glasses?
Yeah.
I gave him the picture. I said, "Give me those. Give me those glasses." Okay.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I got.
I love it.
But I can't read shit on the phone. I would do the same mistake. I'd be like, I just kind of like.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it literally, So we made it, and then the trip home.
That's not even day 1 of the con.
Oh, dude.
That's just getting there.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow morning, 5 hours, you got to take all that shit fucking downstairs.
Exactly.
Fuck.
And
dude.
here's the thing: do we take it all on one day, or do we do it over several days?
Which the choice was several days. Like even taking just partial, we still had to take 3 bags, which was not a small amount.
Right.
Right.
And of course, we got to either decide to take the trains or and I'm like, well, I'm fucking buying a cab. I don't care what you have to say. We can pinch pin. This will come out of my pocket. I don't care.
The first trip was not a problem. The first day it was like a $7.50 ride, and Chris tipped the guy $2 and was like, I could do this every day. The second day, traffic, like New York traffic struck, and at one point I was like, so we're gonna be late now because
by this time that's Friday.
Yeah, the second day is Friday. Okay. So it goes Thursday, Friday. Like the load in on this con, it was like nice and easy. For us, like, the lines were pretty short. It was they have bomb sniffing dogs like at every point, know.
Sure.
I mean it's a whole it's like if you take San Diego, but they do the tap-in system like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Except they do it with a person. So
they've got a little iPad.
Yeah, and then you walk up to that dude in the little
gotcha.
because you're not really coming in and out of the con like you do in San Diego.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not as much volume there. Everybody stays inside because there's like this giant ass food court downstairs.
Right.
Yeah. So, but man, I will tell you, like, we loved it. Like as far as cons goes, like if you get a chance, and to me it seems like New York Comic Con tickets are still possible to get.
Right.
Like you can. Like go, like it is like a blast. Like we had a lot of fun.
That's cool.
It was long days.
The crowd is super nice, man. Everybody was really cool.
Yeah.
You don't get the stink eye as people walk by. It was
Security, it's not like the security is super chill. I only saw one guy get in one fight with another security guy, and it was like two New Yorkers like, hey, I'm just trying to get into the con. He's like, the con ain't open yet, man. You can't come in here. And he's like, fuck you. He's like, no, fuck you. And just one time, like, and I was like, New York moment.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I saw a Boston moment like that when I was in Massachusetts.
Really?
I was like, oh fuck, dude, it's going down right now.
Yeah, right.
But I was like, no, this is just the way these people talk to each other.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. and the thing about guys like leaning on their horn. Like, that's not a thing. That's like real.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah. After 5 days, I was like, I just if I'd never hear a car horn, honk
I gotta tell
again.
you, and the light would turn green. They just honk. They honk. And I was like, I'm going.
And it doesn't matter
what the fuck is going on? I mean,
Give me
am I
a
being an
fucking second.
asshole here or something? It's like, no, this is what these fucking people do. So by the end of the fucking trip, we got home. It's just like, I don't want to go to fucking Stater Brothers.
Nope.
Right? I just want to be in my house, away from fucking cars. These people are crazy, man.
Yeah. I think the difference is like we're in the West Coast in LA specifically, we're just used to getting in traffic and it doesn't move. And then everyone like accepts that fact.
Yeah,
You're
just
like,
turn the radio up,
You're just like, here I am stuck in this non-moving traffic. Where am I going to go? There's no other place. I can't even get on a side street because that also will not move. Downtown, or like when you get into downtown in New York or like uptown, wherever you're going, these people all think they're getting somewhere fast. And they're all weaving in and out. It's like a fucking game of Mario Kart where they all just like are. And it's like, you even breathe like for a hot second.
Yeah.
And dude, the guy's laying on the horn.
Right.
And then we had every taxi cab driver was exactly what you thought he was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was all Dopinder from fucking Deadpool. Every single guy.
That's great.
And it was just like
great.
super nice. Always like, thank
I'm
you.
glad that Uber has not destroyed that fucking.
Oh, I mean, there was...
I know, and they're working on it.
Yeah.
They're working on it. But we need to keep that.
Absolutely.
I
need to
it's
keep
the
that culture
convenience
alive.
Of going to the curb and seeing a guy coming down. It's like, hey, and they'll pull over.
Yeah.
That's that's what Uber. You
Cannot
have to plan Uber.
Yeah.
With this, it's like we literally just rolled up, hand up, and a dude would already be there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, thank you, jump in the car, boom, go,
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, and look, man, the Comic-Con itself, like for those of you that are intrigued by it, there's lines, but it's like people could apparently get into panels, which I was dumbfounded by.
Right.
So
like in and out of panels.
And all the big names that, hit San Diego, except for maybe some of the big studios in a whole day of stuff, like they're all there.
Yeah. And it was I think the biggest thing is it reminded me of Comic-Con like 10 or 15 years ago where people were just sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
I do have two complaints. There were no chairs anywhere in this fucking facility. It's unless you went down to the food court level.
Right.
So if you needed to take a break at all, like you were screwed. Like there was nowhere to sit. And then there are these people, the Javits Center does not have enough bathrooms. Every bathroom line, like it became find the secret bathroom every day. Like Chris and I
It didn't matter. I've hit almost every bathroom in the place. Always a line.
And every bathroom had 3 to 6 stalls in the men's room and then 6 urinals. So only 12 at any given time could be using it.
Right.
And there was always 12 people in line. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, people, come on.
Just once I want to walk in and, find something.
It's
open.
definitely one of the beauties of like the San Diego
Oh, yeah.
Convention Center. It has got a plethora of bathrooms, and I found this out the hard way after I had my gallbladder removed. That I was like any type of like greasy food, like
It's on.
I gotta
Clear
go to the
the way.
bathroom, you know. And I used to have a thing about that. Like I was like, hey man, I'm a private pooper.
Right.
I like to poop at home.
I want to read
Security.
that comic book, by the way, Private
right.
Poopers.
And after that, I was like, I'm blowing into the party like my name was El Nino. Okay, I'm kicking the fucking door open, and I'm like, because I was like, I gotta go, you people. And then so it's a beautiful thing in San Diego, lots of open stalls. But I have seen some stalls where I was like, we need an attendant in here, please.
Right.
I don't
The
know.
attendants were standing there.
Uh-huh.
There was one day where because I'm trying to find the booth where they sell the con stuff. I'm bringing, souvenirs home. So
Okay.
I'm like, I'll buy a couple shirts.
And they had some dope shirts.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
for
the shirts are
Comic-Con
cool as
shirts,
hell.
They had one that I was like, I want, and they were sold
It is
out.
definitely something that San Diego I think fails at.
Right.
Yeah.
Their con shirt normally kind of blows.
So I went as far as you could. And then I thought, I'm going to go downstairs here. Because nobody really is down here. I go downstairs, still 13 fucking people in line. And this was the secret
You
bathroom.
had to keep going down.
I guess.
The pits
Like-
of Mordor,
Like
yeah.
fucking
Like there was
Shud
nobody
world
down in
and
this
shit,
end,
dude.
even downstairs, and there was still a huge line.
Oh, I did have one other New York experience. I was using the restroom, and a stall trip, so a sitting trip, and the two bathroom attendants, like they had a little office around the corner, and they were in there. Like having the world's largest argument, and like Steve, I need quiet. I'm like, I don't want to hear your conversation. And this guy's like, man, you don't fucking appreciate your job. And the other guy's like, look, bro, you don't tell me how to appreciate my job. And I'm all, it got heated, It was like the two guys arguing in 40-Year-Old Virgin, And it's like just like
I have some new coworkers that are like that. They're older Hispanic gentlemen,
Yeah.
and they're very passionate
like
about
machismo,
big time, and they have the arguments on the floor that I'm not used to. I'm used to kind of silence and shit like that. I'm like, holy shit, maybe I should be Instagramming this shit right now.
Where
This
were we
get
when
fucking real.
the two women were like yelling at each other in Spanish? It was at like
oh,
an
at the airport on the way home.
Were we in Chicago or something?
No, we were in New York.
Oh,
It's
it was New York?
4:30 in the morning in the little Cinnabon place. And two Puerto Rican ladies that are working there are having this half English, half Spanish fight that you can hear in the entire fucking terminal.
Yes.
And we're like, shut up. It's
Like
4:30.
talking over each other.
Right. Very
Yeah.
beautiful culture, very passionate.
like
Yes.
going hard.
Yes,
forward.
I don't think I've ever had a Puerto Rican friend who was not passionate whenever they were speaking.
my buddy
about
Hector's
pretty much
that way,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
like,
best thing is watching these
fuck
two women
you.
go at
Yeah,
it, like
yeah.
arguing, like nonstop for a good 5 minutes.
Plus, when you don't.
Well, and you had the little
fully-
Asian lady watching them, waiting to buy her little water, and it's like looking back and forth, like, are you gonna either one of you look at me at this
It's
point?
like, what are they arguing about at Cinnabon? This has too much
Right.
frosting. Yes, it does.
Well,
No, it
that's-
doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't.
What's great is literally they're like, you don't tell me what to do. And she turns around, she goes, how can I help you?
It was so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
like it was a great trip, man, and I would tell anybody that gets the opportunity, go to New York Comic Con. I mean, you know what? Some of these bigger cons, it's like we grew up on San Diego, so
Yes.
it's like, and some of these I'm going, if I grew up on this con, I go, this one is not as oppressive, Now on the flip side of that, like nothing beats San Diego, like bar none.
Sure.
Like it's still the fucking gold standard, but
It's
this,
Mecca.
It is, and this was really good. This was a great con.
Now, are you guys doing LA this month?
Yeah, we'll be down there in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
the Dirt People Con. It's
Well, it's moved up. I mean, remember when it was in the fucking parking garage the first year?
Right.
No, it's like
Yeah.
it was lower level, and they've definitely moved upstairs.
Here's
like
the
you went
problem
in
is-
there, and it was you went down, and you're
Right.
like, I'm like, this is fucking parking spots. Like no shit. Like the first year when it was
Right.
still, what do they call it,
Kamikaze,
kamikaze?
yeah.
And it was like if you got the kamikaze tattoo, you had like entrance for life or something.
and I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like they had tattoo artists on site doing these fucking little tattoos, and I was like, wow, this is is pretty fucking dirt con, you know? Yeah. So
That's a
but they
leap
have
of
definitely-
faith right there.
They've definitely moved up, but it's not Stan Lee's Comic Con. Like they did that for like a year now.
It's still
Yeah,
Stan Lee's
it's
It's
still
LA
just,
there.
I thought he
Comic-Con.
took his name off of it. I thought it was off.
No,
so.
it's Stan Lee's L.A. Comic Con.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. All right.
But it's like we're
Stan
looking,
Lee, the official one, took his name off of it. They found another guy named Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just,
it's just Stanley.
It's just
Stanley.
Stanley, yeah.
Yeah.
Stanley's Comic Con. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck
okay,
is-
it's a Stanley guy.
No, it's like, we're looking forward to it because we always look forward to the shows. But part of me is like, this ain't going to be New York. It's going to be the come down that we had after Seattle, where people walk up and it's like, ugh, I've seen this.
Or,
You know?
or our absolute go-to, which is always like, hey, does your kid want a comic book? No, reading's fucking gay.
Yeah.
like we had a couple of those in New York, but nothing as funny
No.
as that one guy.
At Long Beach.
Oh, dude, that was perfect. It was like everything you thought it was going to be in that moment. Like, this dude is in his Raider flush. He is like ready to, shank somebody,
Holding his beer.
holding his beer, and you're like, hey, man, can I tell you about comic books? He's like, fuck no. But yeah, man. You know what was weird, though? I think the cosplay was a lot less or varied.
Right.
Like, it was not as so much look at me cosplay. Like
It
we
was
get here.
fandom.
Yeah, it was back to dude.
I was close to commenting on one of your pictures because there were some cosplay people buying a comic you took a picture with.
We did.
And I almost said, don't buy their comic. They don't like you. But I was like, I better not
Well,
do
but
that.
I think the motivation is different there.
Yeah.
Like, they are genuinely fans. Whereas you go to L.A., any of these cons out here, it's all about I'm a
at me.
model,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
and
know
I'm
what, dude?
selling my shit online.
I just had a little dinner get together with some members of the 501st when we decided to do the cruise with them, and we were chatting, and even the face of the Legion locally, SoCal Garrison has changed because
Right.
we've gotten a flood of new members in the last couple of years because there is a company now that is licensed in selling costumes.
Right.
So we have seen a lot more people come in, and a lot of these fucking people who are coming in have really no interest in what we are about as a club.
Right.
They are about Instagram hits.
Right.
Yeah.
They're about the likes. They're about selling their fucking product or their what
My
do they
glossy
call it?
8x10s and 5x7s.
Yeah,
of me
dude, for
cosplaying.
sure. Every
Yeah.
time they do an event, and let me tell you, they're headhunting for like the biggest events,
Right.
or they're headhunting trying to get the new costume to be the first one, so that they can get the recognition
Right.
and the.
Oh yeah, and they
the
bring like
what
7
have you.
different costumes to a con, so they'll change like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, listen, there are people who are doing that, and this is their living, and that's cool. But this is not what we are as a club,
Exactly.
as the 501st.
I don't know if that's cool, but that is what it is.
Well, listen, hey man, you don't tell me how to punch in, and I'm not going to tell you how to fucking punch in.
Yeah.
But when you're using our club as a vehicle for this shit, that's when I'm kind of like, this is not what we are about. If you want to go ahead and use the circuit as your income, hey, that's fucking cool, but don't use us as the vehicle for
Right.
it. So.
Well, even Disneyland's embraced like the Instagram culture. They've like put up those walls with like the wings that you can take your picture in front
Right.
of. And
You can't even take a picture at Disneyland at one of the fucking the kind of the photo opportunity
Yeah, you have
spots.
to wait in
without-
line.
Exactly, and you're taking their picture.
yeah, the
and
photo
shit.
pass.
Yeah, we
But,
found
I mean,
that out the hard way last year, dude.
That's kind of crazy.
It
Well, the whole
was-
Paradise Pier being remade into Pixar Pier, it was to make it more Instagram friendly.
Really
yeah.
They wanted more spots for people to take pictures.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, we saw some. Here's the nice thing, because you're in New York and you got people with different mindset. A lot of costumes that you never see here. One, Spider-Man, unbelievable popular,
Right.
which could only
Makes
be
sense,
expected,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, unbelievably popular. Like a lot of Spider people running around the show. And
I saw a
then
guy at the gym yesterday like that. I was like, yo, homie, Peter Parker, what the fuck are you wearing right now, dude? But
like he had the onesie and the.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
like, doing his
it was
set.
all black, so I was like, oh, he's like
like
the fucking he's got the
Venom.
Venom suit, right?
Right?
I was like,
and we're gonna talk about that
like,
next.
dude, I can see, and then I'm like, dude, I can see your weenus.
Yes.
But and you weren't even there when they came by. But my favorite costume of the weekend is somebody did Artemis and come on, how did I just forget his name? The Ready Player One. They did the 2 leads.
Oh, no, I saw
okay.
that.
Did you see him?
Oh, it was dope.
Dude, they was so good. I mean, and it was one of those ones you walk by and you were like, holy shit, you guys look fucking great.
Like they had the makeup down
and
and
they
everything.
like
cool.
all the little
That's
like
cool.
extra like stuff that they had on their faces. The hair was like on point. The costume. The guy goes. I was asking him. I go, tell me about the costume, man. And he goes, what people don't realize with the outfit is how many different pieces he's wearing.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the Han Solo belt. He's all, this is the jacket from what is it, Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
He's like, all these different pieces are from, and he goes, and all this shit was really hard to get.
Yeah,
And I'm all,
yeah.
dude, this is the best cosplay I've seen all weekend, bar none. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then we saw a bunch of Robin Hoods, which is always fun. You know,
Yeah.
the Green Arrows.
Green
So
Arrows.
we, yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay,
like Robin Hood.
Oh, well, and Chris and I have our
Kevin
game.
Costner,
You know.
Robin Hood.
No.
Well, now here's what's weird. Not a lot of Star Wars folk. Like the 501st Garrison either is not as big as the Southern Garrison is, or they just weren't there.
Yeah.
But we did see a lot of Kylo Rens, and we're like, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Throw a fit.
No, they're like, I'm not Darth Vader.
I'm Kylo Ren. That and the Star Prince. Star Prince. So it's Star Lord, man.
You know, a lot of our TIE fighter pilot guys get Vader.
Do they really?
I think they're not joking though. They're legitimately like confused. Or
Oh,
something.
no,
Oh,
Like,
we call them the BMX riders.
We're like,
dude, I love BMX. That's awesome.
every time.
Professional troll.
Yeah. Well, look.
You gotta entertain yourself. You got 4 fucking days. And
Yeah, fucking
man.
A.
And you know what's weird? Normally at the shows, like if we do like some of the smaller shows, they're slow. Like at Long Beach, I mean, we're not selling a ton at Long Beach, you know. But like this show, it was breakneck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we sold out of all the leg bow we brought. We sold out of almost every grace we had, except for like 10. And we couldn't even really sell them because we had sold out of ones, you know. And then we were, the Rosies were all right, but not the best. But I mean, our bags were significantly lighter
Right.
coming home.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
we
a good
basically
comp.
got on the plane with 8 when we left here.
and came back with 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything
That's
we
fucking pretty successful.
Russian nested and dolled them back on the way home.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was a good time, man. We had a great time.
That's cool.
But you brought it up, so we got to talk about it. So did anyone get to see Venom?
I did.
Mike went and saw Venom.
I did.
I
yes.
have not yet.
I'm going. Even regardless of what every
Right.
reviewer, like, it became the game for Chris and I on the road, which was like, let's find the most catty fucking Venom review that we could, you know?
You see,
Critics
what-
have been shitting on this.
What I had
movie.
originally seen was just nothing but
Yeah.
negative from like critics and from sites like that. I even texted everybody. I said, "Man, they are saying that this is as fucking bad as Catwoman and Fantastic
Yes.
Four." Sorry, Ron. Right?
Why are you apologizing to
So
me?
I know that you think that those movies are fucking Oscar worthy.
They had a good story. They had a
but,
good story.
Like they were just hammering on
Both
this
are
fucking
jerks,
shit,
by the
right?
way.
But then after it came out, everybody on my personal feed that had gone and see it was coming back with great reviews. So I don't know, Mike. What do you think?
I saw it. I thought, is it a perfect movie? By all means, no.
Right.
There's a lot of flaws in it, but what makes it work is Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And I'm not like the world's biggest like Tom Hardy like fanboy or anything like that. Like I know people like that and they're cool with me.
My wife.
Yeah. And it's like I've always enjoyed his movies, but I've never like been drawn to Tom Hardy as a star. But yeah.
How dare you, sir? He's a national gem.
And I was not looking forward to his performance because, like, in the trailer, he's like, "Oh, I'm Eddie Brock. Like, I'm investigating things. This is my American."
It was
accent."
one of the first things we said when we saw the first preview was like that fucking Jersey accent is kind of killing me, man.
Yeah.
But having just been there, like, those people are all over.
Right.
like it is like that voice. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty close.
Hit the
man.
mark, huh?
But his performance as Eddie Brock and as Venom, and because he plays both characters,
Yeah.
obviously. And his work with himself, like that is the star of the movie right there. And the whole movie, if you like his performance, you're gonna love the movie, and if you can't stand his performance, you're gonna hate the movie. The villain is weak.
Uh-huh.
It's like a Elon Musk wannabe.
Okay.
But he's like, I am villain, and I will twirl my mustache, and I want to help humanity, but also destroy it. Like, just like really unclear. Michelle Williams, she's all right. Like, she's more active as a girlfriend. Like, she wants to like go in and kick butt too. But she's like, if she was cut out of the movie, no one would know.
Right.
It affects nothing.
Okay.
So I wanted more Tom Hardy and Venom. I think if we had a little bit more of that dark humor, a little bit more, the buddy cop. That's what it's basically, a buddy cop movie.
I was hearing they were slated for like 2 more or something.
Well, it's made money.
Well, they end with the credit scene ends with a clear vision of what they want to do next movie,
Which is
including
Carnage.
Yeah,
Right.
including casting, which I do not agree with that casting at all.
Oh, you mean with what's his? Come on, brain.
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson. Thank you.
Yeah.
How do you not like him as Cletus Cassidy? Like,
I think
that's
he's
good
too
casting.
old for Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, but he plays younger than he is.
In this, he's wearing a really bad wig.
Is it
I
like a
hate
really
that.
bad wig?
As someone said, it basically reminds us of he plays his own brother in some movie or show. I can't remember.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I was gonna say, what's his face? Bruce Willis's wig from 12 Monkeys, like that when they're getting on the plane at the end, and he's got that blonde wig.
It is that
This is like
terrible
some-
goddamn wig.
This is
dude.
a bright red curly red wig. It's just like, ooh, Spirit got you that one, huh? And I would have much preferred like him walk into the jail cell, like here you're talking, this is Cletus, and you just see like the head from the back, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I'm gonna cause carnage in New York, and it's like, a little on the nose with that.
Oh, right.
But then what was cool too, like you stay and there's like another post-credit scene, which is like a good like 2-minute scene from Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, nice.
Which I wasn't like super excited about, and then I saw the 2-minute scene. I was like, I'm on board with this. This looks fun.
They did a preview of that on Thursday night at the con at Madison Square Garden. You could go
Okay.
down, and they were showing the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And then I talked to people that saw it the next day, and they loved it. They
Yeah.
were like, "It is the best Spider-Man movie that they've ever made."
All right.
It was fun.
Yeah, and it's got everything that everybody wants, which is it's got Peter Parker, and then it's got Miles Morales, and it's
Yeah.
like all these multiverse Spider-Men.
And a very
Yeah.
different Spider-Man than we're used to
Is it got
seeing
what,
over
what's
and over
what's
and over.
the what's the chick one?
Oh, it's got Spider-Gwen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's got
that-
Spider
She
Pig
like
in it
banging
too.
in that suit.
Well, she's a cartoon.
There's a couple of cosplay chicks who do that, and you're just like, God damn, girl.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. You are just, that suit's just clinging. Woo! Love it, dude. Can't get enough of it, man.
Once again, a lot of spider people. Like
Yeah.
spider
Yeah.
people. So we saw a lot of that.
Those
this
things
time.
are deceptive, though, because they've got some airbrushing on those suits
Well,
in
yeah,
all the right
yeah,
places.
sure,
where
sure, yeah.
you're looking at the ass like, damn, and then you see it on the side, and you're like, oh, damn, I got fooled.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, man. I mean, I heard great things about that Into the Spider-Verse. So
Yeah, and they got
Yeah.
Spider Pig in it.
which I think it's all really okay. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
Peter Porker.
like no joke.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
no
yeah, I
joke,
remember
yeah.
the shit. Yeah, I remember,
Yeah.
totally.
And it's very witty. So I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's a little off the rails, and that's what looks fun about it.
So we're fine. Sorry, we just dropped the recording device here.
But no, Venom was a good movie. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I think it helped hearing the reviews about how terrible it was. 'Cause I kept telling my dad, like, we go see a movie every weekend together.
You don't use the movie pass anymore.
No.
No. Okay, just checking.
We couldn't use the movie pass to begin with. It never worked. Didn't you cancel your movie pass, Ron?
I haven't-
You tried to,
yes.
like, just slip that under the radar.
I very quietly canceled
Yeah.
it. Technically, what I've done is because I, in case they ever made a comeback, I have just given them a credit card that no longer works, and so they
Keep emailing you.
Yes, they're like
Your card's not working.
They're basically yes, and I'm just like, if they somehow miraculously come back to what they used to be, I will reinstate my movie pass. But until then, no. It's impossible to see movies with it anymore.
It's sort of imploded like real fast.
Yeah, well, they finally got what they wanted, which is they've got all these people paying for it that can't go see movies. So it worked out perfectly. So.
So yeah, I went with my dad, and he really wanted to go. He's a huge Venom fan. He's the one who introduced me to Venom when I was reading like Venom in the '90s.
Okay.
And I was like, don't go see it. Like, let's go see something else instead. Let's go take a chance on another kind of movie.
Goosebumps 2.
We saw The House with the Clock on the Walls the week before.
I hear that's actually.
It was a fun.
The House with the
my
what?
wife
The
really
house,
wants to
it
see
was
that.
good.
Yeah, it had Jack Black playing a fat magician, and I was like, "You go, man! You speak to me."
Hey, listen, I like Jack Black. I think he's fucking funny. I like him.
Wait, is that the new Goosebumps? The House with the Clock on the Wall?
He's in that too.
Yeah, he's in both of
He's
them.
in both
right?
of them,
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I thought
Yeah.
that one. The new
Well,
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, like he was left out of the advertising. I think what happened was they went, "Oh, we want to get Jack Black." Jack Black said, "I'm doing this other movie right now," and they said, "Well, we don't want to wait for you." So they made Goosebumps 2, and then they realized, like, "Oh shit, we need Jack Black," and so they basically contacted him and said, "Can we get you like to film a couple scenes and re-record Slappy?" That's the ventriloquist doll.
Yeah.
Like, we get you to re-record his dialogue. So I think they shoved him in after the fact
Oh.
because he was in none of the advertising until about like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
How did the guy who sings "You Don't Always Have to Fuck Her Hard" become the kids' movie go-to guy? When did that happen?
You gotta fuck him gently. Sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's reinventing himself, and it's a nice reinvention. It's not like it doesn't feel manufactured. It doesn't feel.
Tenacious D is about to do a show. Coming
Yes,
up.
they are at LA Comic-Con. They're playing.
Yeah.
Are they what?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in.
We're doing it. What, LA Live or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But they're doing a panel or something special at LA.
Well, they're talking about doing another Tenacious D movie.
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
The world needs it. I'm with it.
I love the first one.
The first one is not the best movie ever made.
I didn't
the
see
middle
it.
lags, but the beginning and the end are great.
Dude, the end is like the showdown with Satan is like bar none the best. And then
Right.
the opening with Dio is like, if you, as a second chance movie, if you have never seen
right, I gotta go check it
Tenacious
out.
D and the Pick of Destiny.
Oh my god, it's great.
It looks so bad I couldn't do
But
it.
it
man.
is like you got to go into it understanding like this is Monty Python bad.
I
It's
wanted
not
the movie to
designed-
succeed so much, I went out and bought everyone copies of the DVD for Christmas.
Did you really?
I was like, that was my Christmas present.
We went as a birthday thing for me one year. I was like, I wanted it to be successful because I love the D, and I was like, for my birthday, we're all going to see the Pick of Destiny, and we all walked out, and almost everybody was like, that was funny. Not the best movie I've ever seen, but I really enjoyed it.
And
you know?
the cameos are great. Like
Yes.
John C. Reilly, Tim Robbins.
Yes, when they get into the diner sequence and
Yeah.
all in the middle. The movie, like Chris, what you will find is this movie made one big mistake, which is it basically makes Jack Black's character a complete a-hole for the first half of the movie.
Right.
So instead of being like this duo that you're like, I like these guys both, you really hate Jack Black because he's a complete dick to Kyle for like the first.
Actually, it was the opposite. They made Kyle.
Was it Kyle
They made Kyle the superior because Jack Black was trying to get.
Oh,
into,
that's right.
and
That's
it
right. My
reversed
bad.
their dynamic
That's
because
my
Kyle
bad.
Black is Jack Black's always been like the asshole in Tenacious D.
How's this? Neither of them were overly likable in the first
Right.
half hour of the movie, and it just like so it had some really funny moments, but it dragged like in the middle. But then once it starts, they get on the road trip and like they're looking for the pig, like it becomes a blast. Like all of a sudden you're like, and the music's fun, like it's a
Yeah.
musical, you
You
know?
know,
Oh, yeah.
breaking into the rock and roll museum.
Yes, yeah, with all the lasers, like they straight up do the
Entrapment.
Yes, with
Yeah.
the butt, like yeah, good time. That's a great movie. Like it is definitely worthy of a second chance movie. Yeah, so I'm really intrigued by Venom. I just like, do you think it fits in the MCU?
I do. That's one of the reasons they made it PG-13.
Okay.
Was that so it wouldn't be overly violent. It wouldn't.
Yeah, because I thought they were gonna make that a rated R or something.
I think
did-
that there was
That's what I
original
heard at
plan.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
They said they've never planned for it to be a rated R.
Oh no shit.
But doesn't he murders people, right?
Yes, but it's like cartoon violence. It's like I'm gonna eat this guy's head, and then like they cut away. You
But
see-
he eats the guy's head.
Yeah, but you don't like see it or hear the crunching. It's not violent. It's not gory.
I've always been curious. So anybody else feel this way? Like, so Venom, he's like wearing a suit, right? But then the mouth gets all big, and he's got this tongue and everything.
Yeah.
But then it like peels the suit away, and then like there's his head like right there. So where does the giant tongue and it like? Is it like a void that's created within it? Like when he eats somebody, does Tom Hardy process that? And if he eats bones, is he like shitting bones later in the day? Like I'm very curious
That's gotta
about
be a
that.
hell of a shit.
well,
Right?
hell of a shit.
to answer your stupid question
I think it's a legit question. I mean,
about the symbiotic suit from another world that fights a guy with spider venom, and yeah, let's apply some real world physics to this.
Hey, man.
I mean, when you put it that way.
17-year-old who
Inquiring
invented web
minds wanna
shooters.
know, dude.
This is totally unbelievable.
I'm just saying, like it's always like Venom's head.
The symbiote needs it basically feeds off of human organs. And so it's basically those things are instantly internalized by the suit, and that way by eating people it's not eating its host.
Oh, fair enough. So, but he will eat Tom Hardy if he doesn't get fed.
Like that's one of the plot lines in the movie is like they keep trying to get these symbiotes to bond with people, and it just ends up killing the people because it basically sucks all the life out of their organs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not as
That
interesting.
is an excellent answer.
Thank you.
I need to.
Thank
see
you,
the
Neil
movie.
deGrasse Tyson. Like that was way to suck the fun out of it, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go check that out, and we'll see if it holds up to that 31% critic review, or if it's more close to the 89% audience review.
Go in with low expectations, and you'll have a good time.
Oh, it's like sex with me. I love it. All right, so here we go. So let's talk about. We got a lot to talk about here, but the Mandalorian. Like we got the first look at the Star Wars TV show.
Super stoked about this.
Literally,
one,
it's one picture, one still frame that they're like, "Here you go,
I'm
Star
so
Wars
mad.
people." Why?
Because I ain't paying for that shit. But I know I'm going to want to see it.
Just pay for it.
I ain't doing it. Now it's a thing. And now I just can't.
Oh, now you're still like, I'm
Now
laying
I'm
down.
gonna come over to your house and I'm
Put
gonna
my
watch
foot
yours.
down. I'm gonna have fucking watching parties of this. Dude.
That's what I'm talking
looking-
about.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'll give you
man.
$1 toward your cost.
Steve will do it on the big screen once
let's
a
do
week, and we're doing a
Yes.
110-inch projection and just enjoy it. But
Now, is this about like Boba Fett? Because I didn't read it.
No.
this
Okay,
is
'cause I know he wears
This
Mandalorian armor.
is about a gunslinger.
yeah, of sorts. Did you see the gun?
Well, I saw the rifle on the
Yeah.
back.
So the rifle. Do you know what that rifle's from?
Well, it looks very Tatooine Tusken Raider-ish.
So they posted a full picture of the rifle.
I saw that with this blade on the front of it.
It's literally the rifle Boba Fett used in the holiday Star Wars special
Yes,
from
yes.
1979. So
Right.
yeah, so they
No, have you seen this thing? It's pretty cool, man.
it's got
really
like a
cool.
forked edge, and it's like the wooden handle. It looks all custom done, you know. So, but it looks like something a Tusken might use,
Right.
or it's like a long rifle like that. But yeah, man, I'm really intrigued by this show. I'm interested to see what they do with this.
I love the directors that they have involved in it.
Yeah, I had
especially Dave Filoni, the person we've been saying for years now, especially Ron and I, not Chris because he's never watched them. Dave Filoni of the Clone Wars fucking gets Star Wars probably better than anybody fucking out there. So
I think
I'm
he
really
gets it.
excited about
He's
his
the
stuff.
closest to George Lucas that they have in that world, in that building. Like he's the guy that understands like what Star Wars should feel like, how it should be, you know, how we should treat the characters, and how a character arc should feel, you know, and like you know, like and it's then, but not so much where you're beholden to like everything from the past. You're gonna take it into a whatever direction it's gonna go from a storytelling standpoint, and we're not gonna shit all over Luke Skywalker. Anyways,
I just
We're
like
back
let's
to that, huh?
go back to old podcast episodes where Ron's defending the movie. Well, I liked it. It's probably one of my favorite Star Wars
no,
movies.
look, dude. I Last Jedi. I still like it. I just don't like that they killed Luke Skywalker. That's all. That's just one thing. If he survives, I love the movie.
He sacrificed himself.
Did he
Coming
though?
back, he's
He was a
coming back as
martyr.
fucking ghost anyway.
He is.
So, you know.
And actually,
Force ghost.
we've been
And now he
getting-
can catch shit on fire and use lightning. And
Yeah, dude. Like he's gonna be like fucking like show enough out there.
they should have
so-
all the Force ghosts
But-
like
but-
fight.
By the way, real quick, that guy, Bruce Leroy, the Last Dragon, was at New York Comic Con.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
That motherfucker has the power because he has not aged a day since he shot that film.
No shit.
Like it was like, dude, that's Bruce Leroy. Dude, he looks exactly the fucking same as he did in that movie. Dude, that movie came out 40 years ago. Like I look terrible, and this guy looks great. You know, no gray. He is more cut now than
You
he was
gotta
then.
moisturize, dude.
Hey, dude,
It's all about
let
the
me tell you
moisturizing.
about it. Let me tell you about it.
So wait, The Mandalorian. It's
Yeah.
about a guy who wears Mandalorian armor,
Yes.
and he's like a lone gun.
Sure. We don't know what the show's about yet. We just
haven't
saw the
yet.
first
Okay.
picture.
Yeah, it was just a picture.
It just says
Because it just sounds so Boba Fett.
But it's
to
not
me.
Boba
I know
Fett.
it's not Boba Fett. It's just like so we have two very similar characters wearing the same outfit.
Well, sure. It's like the bounty hunters. Okay, they're part of a guild. What do you want?
Yeah, dude.
I'm not shitting on it. I'm just trying
It
to. wrap
sounds
my-
like
I mean,
you
have
are.
have you seen any of the Clone Wars?
no.
So the Mandalorians are a big role in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And they have that armor. That's their people's armor. It's just like clone armor
Yeah.
or etc.
But they're all like they're tribes, basically clans, you know.
Okay.
So like the armor becomes representative than the coloring of each clan. As long as you stay away from the girl that spray paints shit and her pink and goofy fucking armor, but you know.
right.
But the rest of it is, it's all like based upon like this color is that clan, this
like the
look is that
Tartans.
clan, a little bit, yeah. So, but I mean, look, with this show, I mean, I'm in. You've got me, you know, and especially.
Well, I mean, fuck, dude. John Favreau is the producer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he's no slouch.
No.
He does cool shit. The lineup of directors also, if you know the Star Wars universe, like I said, most people won't know anybody else but Dave Filoni. But he's doing 3 episodes out of 10.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. You know, I mean, he gets Star Wars. I think he's gonna see some cool shit from him.
Well, and I mean,
I'm excited for stuff that's not Skywalker solo based.
sure.
Exactly, and like
Absolutely.
I said, I just watched Rogue One yesterday. And I said, God damn, this is probably one of the best ones out of everything that they've done. This guy doesn't like Rogue One.
How do you not like Rogue One?
Holy fucking shit! What?
Yeah, seriously. That's the only person on the planet that I have met that doesn't like that.
There's a lot of people who don't like Rogue One.
Yeah, you and you and you.
The characters are flat. They're not interesting.
Well,
The first
they're not, young Anakin or anything, but
I don't know, man. I like both.
Yeah.
Both Jen and Cassian, dude. And I mean, come on, the fucking what was their droid's name again? He was awesome.
The droid was fun. Like, I like the droid.
PDQ-3, I don't know what the hell.
Well, look, the droids are always the best part of these movies. Let's be honest.
Except for Solo, but anyways.
You're wrong on that one too. That droid was fun. Come on.
I
Lando
rewatched
fucks
that.
a droid. It's awesome.
I
Lando banged
rewatched
that
it this
droid.
week.
It's like a fighting fleshlight, Steve.
It was
How
fun.
could you not?
It was fun, dude. How does that work? It works.
Fighting fleshlight. I
So
want to see that for sale at the Disney store.
absolutely, absolutely. You're L3. But look, man, this show. Once again, we know nothing about it, but the mere fact that one image can get me this excited about it, like, says a lot, you know? It says it looks right. Hopefully it watches right, you know? And as long as they don't shit on Boba Fett, like, all throughout The Mandalorian, I think we'll be fine, you know?
And you know that when it's supposed to be taking place, right?
I do not,
They
actually.
have announced that today. This is taking place after the fall of the Empire,
Before the first order.
before the rise of the First Order.
That's
So
kind of. I like
right
that.
in between this.
Good.
is
Kinda
what-
bridge that
the
gap.
timeline that we're
I like
talking about.
that.
I like that as well.
Because that always bothered me with the episode 7.
What I'm excited about is, like, you know, the Outer Rim, and that's where I'm hoping it's taking place, is the Outer Rim has always been known as kind of the Wild West.
Right.
So it's like, you know, you had some Imperial control out there, but not that much. It was
Yeah.
really run by the Hutts and shit. So now that the Imperial control is gone, and now it's going to be just fucking gangsterland, and also Jabba has lost control. You know, obviously he's dead. The power play of the gangs and the fucking
Right.
smugglers out there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is gonna be some fucking the good, the bad, and the ugly shit, dude. Because that's one of my favorite Western shit. So
I mean, there's every possibility that
That's what Solo should have been.
that's what Solo kind of was.
I think it was. I
It
think
very
it
much
was.
felt
had
like
no
a Western.
grit.
I love that. I love that whole, like, the gambling and
Yeah.
shit. And that was cool, man. Working for these cartels
Yeah,
and shit.
look,
Yeah.
man.
But the cartels worked for the Empire. It was all still Empire.
The cartels didn't work for the Empire.
Well, when it served them,
Yeah.
they're cartels.
They're gonna sell shit. Like,
Well,
that's
yeah,
what they're all about.
But their main boss was Darth Maul.
Oh, you want some dust?
He wasn't work for the Empire. Darth
But
Maul.
see,
He got cut loose,
See,
dude.
here we go.
Got it.
Mike has not seen
Exactly.
the fucking Clone Wars.
You don't know the story.
Well, I'm sorry if I haven't done all my homework.
When eventually,
movie should tell a story. I
when-
shouldn't have to do
when-
homework to
when
understand
Maul
the story.
Came back, and his brother Savage, they started taking over some of these cartels to serve
Savage.
their own. His brother.
Monsieur
Savage
Sauvage.
Opress was
Savage?
oppressed.
Savage Opress. How dare you?
Savage Opress.
Look, it's a Star Wars name.
So you're trying to get me on board with the show with the name of Savage Opress.
Come on, dude. Luke Skywalker.
Exactly.
Come on.
But that's George Lucas. So.
Han Solo.
All right, I give you that.
They even spelled it out. I'm by myself.
And that's one of the moments I hated.
Solo.
Look, dude, if you don't like Star Wars, we understand.
I do like Star
But
Wars.
you're just not going to be on the show anymore. That's all there is to
Listen,
it. So.
I tell everybody, if you have not seen the fucking Clone Wars, dude,
I can't get
Clone
past the
Wars
animation. That's
is
what bugs me.
Oh, dude,
amazing,
what are you talking about?
man. You're
like-
missing some amazing fucking stories.
Yeah.
That you really are, dude. Like, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of the Rebels animation, but I watched it anyways because we're connecting all these fucking bridges, man.
And the storytelling's, as you know, I enjoy, is very strong, very strong. So
And all the moments are earned.
it really feels that way. I really feel. So, so let's talk. Let's just transition from something we don't have a lot of information to another thing we don't have a lot of information about. But apparently, James Gunn, as we all predicted, got signed by DC and is now writing Suicide Squad, another Suicide Squad movie.
And Bautista
Wants to join.
to join in
Yeah.
on it. So that's some big news.
The only
man.
thing that I'm a little reticent about is they're literally throwing it's like, well, this is not a sequel. And I'm going, well, like, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, you had some good stuff come out of that first movie. Like,
Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Will
Smith
Smith
was good,
was
dude.
great as Deadshot.
Yeah, it was pretty
Just
good.
don't make it his movie.
Yeah, I mean, you just, like, you've got some good elements. Like, don't get rid of all of it, you know? We can lose Enchantress. We could even keep Fireball Guy.
But didn't
like,
he kill himself? In
Aztec Warrior, did he die? It's been a while since I've seen
I
that
thought
movie.
he died Like,
Okay,
he
well then we don't
sacrificed
need
himself.
him. All right, but you can keep Killer Croc as well. Like you've got elements that could still work. Like we don't need to get rid of all of it.
Now, can we recast Killer Croc as Batista?
No, he'll be Bane.
He'd be Bane. Dude.
Oh, okay.
Like how dope would he be as Bane?
I can get behind that.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you guys feel about this? Are we excited about this?
I'm intrigued because I love James Gunn and I did not like Suicide Squad. But I could see where James Gunn what he can do with that because it's very Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a group of ragtag assholes.
Sure. I mean, I think Disney's kind of waiting for the ire to die down on this one before they make any announcements, because you come out and say like, "Hey, we've got a new director," and then nobody's gonna want that guy. No matter who that guy is,
Right, right.
He's gonna get the ire of people that are like, "You shouldn't have fired."
Unless
James
it's Joss
Gunn."
Whedon.
I know.
No.
Even then, no. Josh Whedon he's not the
name he was.
No, it ain't the same, dude. Especially after Age of Ultron, like that dude took a hit after that movie.
And then also after
what's wrong with that? That movie made a shit ton of money.
Batman v Superman also alienated a lot of
No, it was Justice League.
Justice League. Yeah, people disliked him a lot for that.
He's got to stick to his own properties. I think that's like if he came back and did Firefly, everybody would love him again.
Right.
Or Buffy, like they're gonna do another Buffy. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
it's
just
already in the
rebooted
works.
Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
It's all the dark version now.
Yeah, and then we got Charmed coming back, and I'm
I
like,
think
what
my
year
daughter
is
was pretty
this?
stoked about the Sabrina one.
Yeah,
so.
that's playing to a very specific audience that's not in this room. But yeah, man. I mean, look, I think at the end of the day, like DC is like
Grasping at straws?
pretty much.
Struggling.
Can we get
Yeah.
something to
Can
work?
can something stick?
We'll take the dude who made the pedophile jokes. Fuck it. Maybe he can do something. You know?
Like they are.
This guy killed a hooker in this year, but it's been
Can
a
he
few
make
years.
a decent movie for
I
us?
know, right? Like they're like, I hear Hitler was a great director. But yeah, they like, and you look at what they're doing. It's like there's no cohesiveness to their universe anymore.
They have no direction.
They've just given up. They're just like, we're like, Wonder Woman's a success. If Aquaman becomes a success, maybe that shoots it in another direction. But yeah,
I don't see that movie being a success.
Oh, hell no.
really.
That movie looks stupid. I'm sorry.
I'm with
I-
Ron on
my
this. I think
man.
it's a
Looks
success.
dope, dude.
Yeah.
No, dude.
So-
It's going to be terrible.
I think I think you
I'm calling it
underestimate
now.
how much people like Jason Momoa. First,
I don't
off.
think it matters.
that movie looks good.
It doesn't.
I sat through the
no.
Comic-Con presentation. I went, I look, it looks cartoony in the same way that Wakanda looked cartoony, but I think people are going to go. I think people are going to be excited about it. So,
I'm with Ron on that.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
My man.
I predict that it's going to get the kind of reviews from fans that Venom got from the reviewers.
Look, it's a hard property. Like, you're talking about a
Well, of
hard
course.
property, but
Then
this-
why are we doing it?
I think some movies are critic proof, and Venom has proved to be critic proof, where the audience is like, we don't give a fuck what you say, we're gonna go see this.
sure.
I think DC is becoming less and less critic proof because even the fans are like, yeah, that movie's not as good.
Yeah, but most people I've talked to, except for you two, you're the first two people that have told me they're not excited about Aquaman. So,
Not even a little.
And from the man,
I said from the beginning when I heard that they were going to make an Aquaman movie, I was like, what? This
Lame.
sucks,
Yeah.
dude.
But-
and then I was like, okay, you got me a Jason Momoa. All right, it's cool. I like it. I like some of his stuff. I'm not a big fan of Conan.
that movie was not good.
If they would have given it a fucking hard rated R and made it like fucking Conan,
They
because
had
he looks like the original comic where Arnold did not.
too much dialogue. That's
You
all.
know,
That
yeah.
movie
You
had
can't
way
let him
too
speak
much
too much.
dialogue.
A rating won't fix a bad
But,
script.
you know,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay. And then I saw that fucking trailer and I was like, all right, I'm in.
The problem with that movie is, as good as Jason Momoa and fun as he was in that movie, the rest of the movie watched like a episode of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys.
Yes.
And it was a little too tame, not a second chance movie. I own that shit on Blu-ray and weirdly DVD. Don't ask.
That's why you're
You don't
excited to
have
see
to ask.
Aquaman.
We know why you have that movie.
Get the nipple clamps out.
The nipple clamps are for special occasions, Mike.
That's kindling, is what that is.
Is that what that
that's
is?
That's kindling.
Well,
when you want to get that fire going, you just put that on, and as soon as the movie's over,
Hey,
it's
baby,
like,
you want to
it's
watch
on.
a little Hercules tonight?
Oh, stop it, you both. So, transitioning to yet another thing. So apparently Netflix canceled Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So,
What a surprise!
well, here's the thing.
The first one was so terrible that nobody wanted to watch the second one.
Well-
Even if it was great, nobody wanted to watch it.
I still think what they're doing is they're not canceling Iron Fist.
Of course not.
I think they're transitioning into more of a group show,
Right.
Where he will be a member of a team.
Because
And
he
they-
can't
it'll be a
carry
side
his
player.
own series.
it could be hero. Though the character, like Danny Rand as a character, is not good enough to carry his own series. But he could be in a Heroes for Hire show, where you bring back Jessica Jones and you bring back Luke Cage and him. Or the thing they posted was the Immortals, where it's basically like a group of Immortals out kicking ass, and so he's one of a group of 4 guys. So
Right.
Yeah.
look. That first season was the biggest misfire that the Netflix shows have had at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they knew it. They gave it a second season to see if they could turn it around, and they just can't. Like, I just think the property, it's a little damaged at this point, but he was good. He was one of my favorite parts of Defenders, and especially how everybody fucked with him. Like, that was, like, my favorite part. So, we're not getting another Defenders. They've already said that
No.
at this point.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm enjoying Luke Cage season 2 right now.
how is it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah?
The first half of the first season was good.
Yeah, it had too many villains in the first season.
Right.
It was like, oh, that's a good villain.
If
was
they'd
like, oh,
ended
that's a
it in the
good-
middle when they got rid of the first dude, it would have been a great series.
But I think it was like Diamondback or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just after finishing up Jack Ryan, and then now it's like we just Walking Dead came back, which I don't think, except for Chris and I.
I jumped in.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Oh, what did you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm kind of done with it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's run its course for me.
it's
run
lost
its course.
the buzz about it that it's. I mean, it came
And
back.
like
and
we
no,
said-
I didn't even know about coming back. It's on my TiVo, I'm sure.
Right.
I know Chris had brought up the lower ratings on this after they announced that
Rick was leaving.
Andrew
And
Lincoln
Maggie.
Yeah.
was going to be leaving. And we said from the beginning that this was Rick's story,
Yeah.
and that there were certain key characters of the show that when they left the show would
Fold.
be done. And I think that's what we're seeing here. now.
Regis can't carry this show.
No,
I'm saying it now.
He's been a
He
great
can't
supporting
do it.
character.
Yes.
And I still think that the show would make a massive hit if they lost him too.
I just don't think he's got the acting chops to carry this show. I mean, I like him, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the chops to
His
carry
biggest
this
thing
show.
is like he's
I don't
quiet
think
and
so.
mysterious,
He's
but it's
never-
like you
I
can't.
think
Yeah.
of all the characters, I've always said that Andrew Lincoln is the one who brought his character to life,
Right.
like no other.
Well, from an acting standpoint, he definitely elevated like
Fuck,
what
dude.
you're watching.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes
man.
you love Rick, and sometimes you hate him. Like he does crazy shit, he
Yeah.
does heroic shit, and that's what makes him interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Look, I think the season premiere was fine.
Yeah,
and
it was
I-
all right.
And then
Yeah.
basically, I'm watching. I'm like, well, I know where we're at in the comic books. Like, I know
Right.
exactly where we're at in the comic books, and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like we're deviating. And I already told Chris. I already put out my prediction how he leaves. I think he gets beheaded by the Whisperers, and I think that's what they're going to use to like bring all the communities back together. Is they're going to kill Rick Grimes, and it sucks, but I think, and like I said, I was like, without Carl, like the show is going to be harder for me to stick with. Like, and
Right.
I love The Walking Dead, but
Yeah.
had they not killed Carl, there would have been a connective tissue. And
Right.
now that I don't know that Norman Reedus is that connecting tissue. You
No.
know, I don't know that Daryl is enough for me to want to continue watching the show.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll still watch it because it's one of 5 shows that I really like have been with for a long time,
Yeah,
and I
from the
enjoy
beginning.
thoroughly. It's like I watch Survivor every week because I've watched 37 seasons of Survivor.
Jesus.
Yeah, but you know what? I enjoy every time I know what I'm getting into.
Wait,
I
what
know
did
I'm
you
gonna
just say?
Survivor.
Survivor.
That is terrible.
Why?
That's garbage.
I watched
I
it
love
as a kid,
Survivor,
and I
dude.
loved it as a kid.
I love Survivor. I mean, look, it's one of those I don't enjoy any other reality TV except for the Little People, Big World. And
Send all complaints to.
I've only ever watched like one sit down of that. But if it's on, like I'm watching this shit. I'm in. So they're
Holy fuck.
they're little people in a big world. Like it's so great.
Figures.
And they have normal size couches.
Jesus.
Send all complaints to Ron Milts at Nerdlife Crisis. But yeah, man, like I just with this show with Walking Dead, like it was a good first episode.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad episode.
It was
And
a
we
good-
killed off Gregory. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I mean
That made it worth it for
About
me.
goddamn time,
Fucking
dude,
serious,
dude,
like.
man.
and we watched. Look, we were in the hotel room and we watched Talking Dead afterwards. And look, I'll give the new showrunner credit where credit's due. She goes, in the past, we would have stretched killing Gregory out 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
She's like, we've already done all that. We don't need to do that. We can move on with that story. And I respect that.
Right.
Like, I respect you looking at your show and going, these were the shortcomings of the show in previous seasons.
Yeah.
Now prove me wrong. Like, continue the good storytelling for the next 5 or 6 episodes, and I'm in, you know? But if it continues to be the garbage it has been in the past, like, I
think Scott M. Gimple really screwed up that show. I think whoever made those calls to kill off Carl, that they potentially sank the show.
Maybe I didn't read enough articles. I thought he just was like finally tapping out. Like, I wanted to go to school.
No, he was talking about he wanted to go to college and stuff, but but he wasn't saying I'm leaving the show.
His contract was up, and that's what it came down to.
Oh,
and
really?
The showrunner, from what my understanding, did not like his acting. And
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why he's no longer the showrunner of the show. Right. Like let's be honest. Like, the last 2.5 seasons of that show, they basically took a storyline that should have basically taken a season, and they stretched it out way too long. You know, we spent way too much time, and then we did not execute the war. You know, the all-out war. We didn't really execute it very well.
Yeah,
like,
it felt so drawn out. You didn't feel like this powder cake going off.
No, and it didn't have like the ebbs and flows that the comic book had. And I know we can go, well, it wasn't the comic book until, all day.
Yeah.
But there was a certain storytelling perfectness to the comic book that it was like, it felt harrowing. People were dropping left and right, It wasn't like we lost one character every 3 episodes. I mean, in the book, you lost like issue by issue. People were dropping, and I think it made it hurt a lot more. And I think they dropped the ball on that. So much so that, people got mad and stopped watching, And I
That's
think,
because Carl wasn't even a casualty of the war.
No.
He was a casualty of helping some kid.
Yeah, and I mean, look, all that would have been fine
Yeah.
if Rick was going to be on the show forever, but that's not where we're at now. And you just can't kill Carl. Sorry.
No, I don't think it would have been fine. I think it was a bad choice.
Yeah.
If you had like a Carrie Fisher situation, then, I sort of understand.
Sure.
But this is a creative choice. This is a stupid creative choice.
Or, look, it happened to apparently Fear the Walking Dead as well, because they killed Kim Dickens, and a lot of the viewership left that show as well.
Really?
Yeah. So, look, at a certain point...
I loved her in Treme, but I never liked her in that show.
Look, at a certain point...
At this point, I might actually watch it until you told me about, Zombnado. Then I was like, no.
They didn't even fucking
You almost
do
had
it.
me.
Like, they started to, and I was like, I'm in. Flying fucking wind zombies, like, I'm in. No, we just went to the aftermath of the storm, which is fine. So...
Budget.
Pretty much.
They can take the Walking Dead's budget at this point, because...
Well, and then I thought they were going to combine the 2 shows, because, like, the back half of the season, they were, like, going to Alexandria, but they're not. They basically have decided to stay in the South and help people. I don't know. Whatever.
No.
Whatever. But I'm going to give this first half of the season, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to see what happens. And I'm going to be, like, I'm like you, Steve. I feel like it's getting to the end.
Yeah,
but if
it's run its course.
But if the storytelling comes back and it's like good show again, like I'm willing to give a good show that's long in the tooth another chance. You know,
I love zombies and shit. You know what I mean, but I'm like,
I felt like this several times with this show. I wasn't a big fan of the way they played out the governor. I thought they kind of dropped the ball.
Stretched that one out too long as well.
And I didn't like the prison. I mean,
the prison
and
was
mostly
bad.
because it just went on forever. How many episodes are we going to watch people freaking sick? And I know it was story-wise important, but at the time I'm like, I don't know how much more of this I can watch. Let's move it forward.
I got stoked in the beginning of this season premiere when you had some people who had some spears.
Right.
And
we
then
know they listen to the podcast.
I was quickly fucking bummed out when we went to the museum and we're like, hey, leave the spears at home. Just bring your knife. And you're like, here we go again. We used to kill woolly mammoths with these fucking things called spears.
Spears are heavy though. Like you don't want to carry like this piece of wood.
Yeah, but I still want to keep a fucking distance between me and the thing that's turning.
But that thing weighs like 4 pounds. Like I don't want to carry 4 pounds.
You know what? Fuck that. It's so heavy. I want to get up and close and personal and stab him in the head. Fuck with an.
We want to do tight shots. Spears have long shots.
I did have one issue with the premiere, which Chris and I both did, which is when the kid like goes back to save the horse, and then he gets bit, and then they just kill all the zombies that are coming, and I'm all, well, why didn't they just do that in the first place? If they had the time, like, well, it was like, we don't want to make the effort to save this shit.
We have learned time and time again that when you just go ahead and say, fuck this one, it comes back to bite you.
Right.
Every fucking time,
like,
man.
quite literally.
Why don't we just go ahead and, as we see them, we just start to eliminate them so they don't just keep... Fuck, it just drives me nuts, man. And I'm like, get a spear, fuck, get 2,
How about a slingshot with like metal balls?
That too, man.
Like something that can, be a distance shot, that's quiet. Like that's the thing I never understand. It's
you get a sharp fucking rock and put it through something's skull. I mean, at this point, they're getting older and brittle and shit.
Yeah.
Even though they've been walking,
They've been
walking,
squishy.
Just
and
put up
walking,
trip lines.
and they haven't fallen apart
right?
yet.
It's like the little things. Like Steve watches the Outdoor Channel enough at this point to know, like, set a trap. Dig a small hole.
Yeah, just
Let's make this community.
Why don't they just build a moat around the community?
Right?
It's fucking Christ. I mean, it's like, how did you people make it this long? You got zero fucking, even the most basic of survival.
Yeah, because these
skills.
zombies don't have a lot of survival skills. They can't step over things. They can't really.
The only ones who have half a brain seem to be the fucking crazy ass psycho ones, like the wolves
Or the up-ups.
or Jesus Christ. Dude. I'm gonna make an art commune.
I'm painting.
I'm gonna
in
make
the nude.
I'm gonna make a fucking art commune in the middle of the apocalypse.
They did do
Jesus
something on
Christ,
Fear that I
dude.
thought was interesting, which is they were next to, they were in the south, so there were gators, and they were next to like a river, and the gators had been feeding on the zombies, so they had lost fear of people, essentially, So, and I'm like, well, to me, that's at least smart. Like, go live next to where gators are going to eat all of the wandering zombies, and you're in great shape,
Just don't go out there.
Just don't let your kids play at Disneyland or Disney World.
Right.
All right, let's wrap it up right there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. We went through a lot of stuff. We had a whole list of stuff we didn't get to, but
Man, I had a hell of a dumb shit too.
We'll do it on the next one.
we'll do it on the next one because I had one as well.
Oh man, I had a good one.
All right. Once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. I am Iron Fist getting canceled.
I'm making spears from the zombie apocalypse.
I'm Lando's fleshlight.
Oh my god, I got nothing.
Sorry.
After that, you guys took them all.
And I hope you guys are having a Nerdlife crisis. Music for the Nerdlife Crisis podcast is provided by Big Papa and the TCB. All music available at bptcb.com or at iTunes. The Nerdlife Crisis is recorded at the Inland Blue Studios. Make sure to subscribe to the Nerdlife Crisis at iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nerdlife Crisis.